Cleveland Detective Michaelene Taliano knew something wasn't right when she entered the home where Angela Kaplan was found dead.
When we arrived at the scene, we observed that there was no blood on the front steps, on the doorway. There was no blood on the side door. And her body was laying on a couch. She was draped in a sheet. When we walked into the bedroom, I was stunned when I saw this because there was blood on the ceiling, on the walls. The bedclothing was soaked with blood. It appeared that someone had bled out in that room. And it was obvious that this was the crime scene and the body had been moved.
Moments later, police discovered a pit bull named Mac locked in an upstairs closet. The dog belonged to the victim's common-law husband, Jeffrey Mann. The dog was immediately taken into custody, and Mann became the prime suspect.
We went back to the office and interviewed the defendant, and at that time he gave us about 3 or 4 different stories about what had happened. The first one, of course, her going for a walk. Then he said he was sleeping. She came home, playfully jumped in bed, frightened the dog. The dog attacked her, but he had taken some medication, and he fell asleep, and when he woke up, he found her dead. And then he told me that another dog broke in the house and attacked her, not his dog.
An autopsy will reveal that Angela Kaplan bled to death from nearly 300 puncture wounds in an attack that was so vicious, teeth marks could be seen on the bone. Later that night, the vet who had examined Mac called Taliano to tell her the dog didn't seem very aggressive, but suspiciously Mac had been recently washed. Could Mac be a trained attack dog?
When I suspected that the dog was used as a weapon, I knew I had a homicide investigation on my hands. I knew that that's how it would have to be investigated. This was not a dog that went berserk and attacked someone. This was a dog that was told to attack someone, which resulted in the death.
To prove that Mac had been trained by Jeffrey Mann to attack on command, Taliano called in training expert Benjamin McPeak.
I asked the dog warden to take the dog outside so I could test the dog to see what kind of reactions I would get. And the dog was very social. I walked up, I petted it. There was no signs of fear or stress in the dog.
But when McPeak showed Mac one of the sleeves used to train pit bulls to attack, Mac became a different dog.
The minute the dog saw the attack sleeve, he became very aggressive. He came to the end of the chain. He's jumping up, he's barking, he's biting at the sleeve. So there was no doubt in my mind that he had been trained to do attack work because he knew what a sleeve was.
Forensic experts determined that Mac's teeth matched the bite pattern on the victim's bones. The coroner ruled Angela Kaplan's death a homicide, and investigators sought to prove that Jeffrey Mann had used Mac as the murder weapon. After a 3.5-week trial, Mann was convicted of murder. He was sentenced to 15 years to life and is known in jail as Dog Man. Because experts never learned the command used to make him attack, Mac had to be destroyed. He too became a victim in this chilling case.